So we all know the traditional way of learning English. Maybe you learned some in school and you became an adult and you understand that you remember nothing. You start again by hiring a tutor, memorizing a bunch of words, but it doesn't really work. So I'm here to tell you exactly what you need to do to finally become fluent in English. Usually there's two ways how people approach English. You think of it like kind of a subject in university or school that you need to buy a book, hire a teacher, and approach it like a subject. Learn some topics, learn some words, maybe a little bit of practice. Although this approach can give you some results, most people can find it really exhausting and really boring. And that's the point when a lot of people from YouTube is gonna tell you to live in English. What does it mean? It's to surround yourself with this language as much as so you don't really have a choice but to use it. It means to consume a lot of English content, watching films in English, maybe talking with your relatives in English, and the device to switch your phone in English is also in this category. But the problem with these two ways of learning English is that they are really the two sides of the same coin. So you cannot have one or another. The truth is somewhere in the middle. If you only learn English using textbooks, you're gonna have a great vocabulary, maybe a great grammar if you're a good learner, but you will lack a lot of practice and speaking in English won't feel natural for you. But if you only consume a lot of English content and surround yourself with the language, you will miss this grammar and vocabulary part, because I have a lot of people that have learned the English this way. They look very nice, they're very beautiful. They do sound nice, but I'm as a teacher always catch some grammar mistakes, and sometimes they can be misunderstood by the natives because they don't really understand the logic of the language, which they can receive from their simple lesson with a tutor. And the reality is somewhere in the middle. You definitely need some materials from the books because they give you structure, they give you useful vocabulary and combine it with relevant topics. And advice to live in English is also useful if you take time to find English-speaking friends, if you learn a lot of content in English, and if you take time from your day to surround yourself with English-speaking culture. The next logical step would be to tell you how I became fluent. First, I might say that fluent is different for everybody. For me, it's to be able to think in English, to speak freely, and basically just touch any topic I want without any struggles. But maybe some people would say that I have an accent, I'm working in it, but it's not really my goal. I started being interested in English when I was in school. I would be the one who would walk up to the kid on a break and say, let's talk in English, which I wasn't really good at, but I really liked it. I watched a lot of YouTubers in English. There was no TikTok back then, but I became really interested in the culture and in the traveling part of it. I found a couple of friends online and I would chat in Skype. But for me, as I didn't have a tutor back then, I really struggled with grammar. So what I did is I became teaching, which is a very logical step if you think about it. I became teaching young children. So I would take really simple topics, and at home I was trying to really get into it, to understand it for myself, to be able to pass this knowledge to the kids. It was the first time that I really understood some tenses, which I thought I did, but I really didn't. But the key part of me becoming fluent was the fact that I knew that it's not the months that I need to learn English, it's not the couple of years, that it's a journey that I take for life. English is evolving all the time. If I would stop back then, 5 years ago, I wouldn't be fluent now. So when you have a goal to become fluent, you need to truly understand it's not something that you can do and forget about it. If you even stop for a month, you will feel changes. And for a year, you will forget the half of what you've known. Just try taking it easy. Combine two approaches. Don't turn away from the textbooks. Don't ignore English content. Find what you like and stick to it. It's gonna be a long journey, no matter what others say. It took me 5 years to get to the point where I'm now, and I'm in no way perfect. So at the end, there's no one correct way of learning English. You need to combine all of it. So if you find working with textbooks boring, don't quit it altogether. Just maybe use less of it and incorporate more English-speaking content. If you're afraid that you won't be able to understand long films in English, just start with short-form content. There's a lot of YouTube shorts, TikToks about English that are really interesting, funny, and useful. Don't choose one over another. It's a system that works great together. Every method is correct. Just don't focus on only one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more tips about learning English, definitely write it in the comments and I will film more. I also have some short form content in TikTok, so definitely subscribe there. And have a nice day. See you next week.